Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. In this video, I'm going to show you the envelope budgeting system. It's the exact system that I use after I became a full-time YouTuber on July 1st. So the reason I went to the envelope budgeting system is because I needed to understand exactly my budget, money going in and money going out, and also how much I can spend. It's probably the same system that your grandma used when you were little, and you probably wondered, why is this lady putting money into envelopes? So without further ado, let's get right into it. So basically, for those of you that don't know, the envelope budgeting system is literally putting money into envelopes, okay? So this is what I started on July 1st, and basically you fill up different categories of envelopes with cash, okay? And my system is a little bit different maybe from the other envelope budgeting videos that you've seen, because I also incorporate Google Drive, okay? So let me just get the camera off my phone so I can put in my password. Perfect. So now you go to Google Drive, you create a document or a spreadsheet that helps you track your expenses exactly for 1 month. So what I did was I basically broke this down into the date I spent the money, the item it was on, the cost it was, the category it actually belongs to, which is in my case dining out, miscellaneous, entertainment, and gas. And I kind of gave myself like a tracking system here, okay? So ultimately this helped me establish how much money I should be putting into these 4 envelopes. So if you see here, you can see gas, I'm giving myself $120 per month, and I can see when I deposited it, I write the date and the amount, and then I also put in, in parentheses, how much I took out. So basically, I have an electric bike. I love my electric bike, and I ride it pretty much everywhere. So I only need about $20 a week in gas to get me from place to place, okay? So it's not that much. Entertainment, you can see here, I gave myself, sorry for the shadow, you guys, $150. And entertainment was pretty much anything like going out with friends, going to a sporting event, an amusement park, buying, drinks for people, whatever. And then you have eating out, which is pretty self-explanatory. I gave myself $200 a month to work with. And then finally, miscellaneous was $250. So these 3 envelopes I pretty much created because I want to know the things that I have control over. I can control how much I drive. I can control how much I eat out. I can control how much I spend in entertainment. Miscellaneous was a little bit different because I did categorize things like Wi-Fi bills and like Skype credits for calling people overseas, and different little miscellaneous things like bills and YouTube Red and Netflix and all that stuff. So I did incorporate those automated bills in this category, but it helped me understand exactly what my monthly spend was. So I guess step 1 of this video, I'm actually going to put this on the tripod here. Bear with me, you guys. Step 1 of this video is to understand how much money needs to go into each one of these wallets. So when I tracked my expenses for the month of July, it basically came out to $1,500, but that was with like rent, bills, car insurance, pretty much everything under the sun. My spending is $1,500. That's not including savings or investing. So it's nice because I live in the Midwest, my rent is really low, and also my wife also contributes for like groceries and things like that. So this is just my personal budget that I need to live a normal life on, is pretty much $1,500 a month, okay? So all these estimates that I gave myself for July, like $120 for gas, $250 for miscellaneous, $200 for eating out, $150 for entertainment, they all came pretty close to what my monthly spends were. I did go a little bit crazy with the eating out, and I did stay within budget. I usually don't spend $200 a month on eating out, but right around there, okay? So with that being said, step 1 is knowing what your monthly budget is so you can stuff these envelopes appropriately. Step 2, well, it's different for me because I know exactly how much I'm going to pay myself each year or in each month. So I kind of reverse engineered that number to also mold into these numbers. So if you know that if you have a spending problem and you're going over and all these envelopes, are not enough to cut what you're making, you need to cut back in some of these different categories, right? So if you know that you can't afford $200 in eating out, this needs to be lowered. If you know that you can't afford $150 in entertainment, that needs to be lowered, et cetera, et cetera. That way you stay out of debt. It's pretty self-explanatory. So the next thing is, you may be wondering, Marco, do you really carry around all these envelopes with you all the time? Absolutely not. It's 2019. Why would I do that? I use a credit card. So basically, if I know what I'm going to do for the day, if I know I need to get gas, I will literally take $20 out of this envelope for gas. I will put it in my wallet. I will go get the gas either using cash or using the credit card and then depositing the $20 in my bank. So I know I'm always even and always using cash, and I'm also still getting the credit card points. So for all the Dave Ramsey, fanatics, yes, I do use a credit card because I do use those points to travel. So ultimately, you may be wondering, what about stuff that's not physical, like bills or things that are paid automatically through like ACH deposit or automatic withdrawal or automatically set up on a credit card? Same thing. That's when you just know when the charge comes in, or you go look at your credit card, you put it in this spreadsheet, and then you make sure it's accounted for. So say, for example, I have a Netflix bill that comes in once a month. I will literally take, whatever that amount is, I'll take that either from entertainment or miscellaneous. In this case, I've been taking it from miscellaneous. I'll take out that money, put it in my wallet, and that money is gone, okay? That money is not to be used. It goes either straight into the bank or it goes into a separate part of my wallet where the cash is not to be used. So my wallet has a fold. I have one side that is money that I can spend. The other side is money that needs to be deposited to the bank, okay? So the reason this works is because it's psychological. When I open up this eating out envelope, let's just say it's like the last week of the month, and I have $10 in this envelope. How inclined am I going to be to actually, take out this money? I'm not going to be very inclined to go out to eat. I'm going to figure something out and either, use whatever's at home and eat that, or just kind of, become a little bit more, how do I say it, just more creative with how I'm spending my money. So again, guys, the reason I chose these 4 envelopes instead of every single little thing is because it's easy to track and it pretty much covers most of my discretionary spending. Obviously, this doesn't account for bills and things like that, but you need to figure out what your main categories are that you spend your most money on and create an envelope for that. And again, what I do is, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's important to know this. Whatever you deposit, you need to also account for whatever you take out, and that way you can see if you're really being honest with yourself. So if you know you deposited $200 into the envelope and you've taken out $100, but there's only $50 in that envelope, either someone's stealing from you or you're not being honest with your expense tracking. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know that being an entrepreneur can be stressful on you, especially if you have a family. This is kind of easier for me because I don't have kids. However, if I did, I would definitely need to create a universal budget with my wife, and that way we have our own envelopes. That may never happen because my wife likes going to TJ Maxx and she likes, buying other stuff, which is fine because she's responsible financially. However, if you are married and do have kids, it may make sense to unify your entire universal income and your entire universal portfolio and also the cash that you have going into these wallets. It may even make sense to have a joint account on like a Capital One 360. That's actually where my wife and I keep our bigger funds like the house fund and the travel fund and things like that. And if you're interested in Capital One 360, check it out below. I think their money market gets you about 2% right now, which is decent. So with all that said, you guys, I hope that you start to implement something like this. Ultimately, this is going to become a cashless society, so you may not be able to do this for long, but you can definitely create a digital version of this. But me as an entrepreneur, I do prefer dealing with physical cash. That way I know exactly how much I have to spend on the certain things that I want. So I hope you got value out of this, you guys. If so, please share it on social media, share it with one friend, give it a like and subscribe. And as always, have a prosperous day. And real quick, check this out. Bam! The silver play button. What up? Marco, Whiteboard Finance. That's what this came in right here. I got like a letter from Susan Wojcicki. Pretty cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know if you like this GoPro style vlog or if you want me to stick to that guy over there, the whiteboard. Thank you and have a prosperous day.